Hello guys, it's me, Nikki. Hey! Every single time I upload a video or post a look on Instagram or here on YouTube, the first thing people will notice if I have changed my brow style just the slightest bit. Pretty much all of you are like, okay girl, we see the change, we noticed the change, now tell us how you did it. And I just want to say thank you for being so invested in my brow journey, and it feels great to know that we're in this together. So about a week ago, I was just playing around with makeup and I didn't have to film. I was just sitting down, getting glam, trying new techniques. And I tried this new technique and I was shocked. So I tried this new technique where I transformed my very, very, very sparse, very thin, very lifeless brows into full, hairy, rough, delicious looking brows. So today, I have no other option but to sit down in my studio and show you exactly what my new brow routine looks like. It is hefty, but it's worth it because, to me, it's worth it because I am so used to having satin looking brows that now that I found a way to make them full and hairy, whereas before they just looked full in a lot of makeup, it just means so much to me because I finally can rock that look. So I'm so excited to sit down and show you how I do it. So without any further ado, if you want to go from this sad situation to something fun and enjoyable, not that this is any, never mind, let's go. All right, glow babies, time for a brow formation. Okay, so my brows have gone through a long, tiring journey. So this is what my brows look like in their natural state. And for me, I absolutely don't have even brows whatsoever. They're not cousins, they're not sisters, they're not twins. They are like, see when I'm talking, the muscle in my head right here pulls so strong and this one kind of doesn't, that every time I talk, it looks like this brow is going off the nuts. Why do my muscles work like that? Like, let it go, let go. So this is what my brows look like. They are super, super sparse. They are very light. I don't have a lot of hair. I have more hair than I used to have before in life, but still, when I don't do anything to my brows, people will be like, what happened? I've tried lots of serums, I've tried castor oil, I've tried a lot of stuff to make them grow, and at the end of the day, they didn't grow, so I'm okay with that. I'm happy that throughout the years, I somewhat, grew a tail. Like before, my brows would stop here, and now I somewhat have a tail, so that is great for me. Now I do all the tweezing and all that myself. You can go to a professional to determine the shape for you, and then you keep it up from there at home. So every time you see a hair out of place, you're like, gone, bye, goodbye. But one essential vital tip I want to share with you is the following. One trick that has totally changed my brow game / eyeshadow game is this right here. This is a razor. Before, I wouldn't do this and my eyeshadow game was getting too strong. It was like, okay, you're blending girl, but we see like something's going on there. So if you find yourself doing your brows and then your killer eyeshadow look and you have some like patchiness in the shadows and you've applied a primer, you've blended for 10 hours at a time, and still there's like certain patchiness going on, chances are it's the peach fuzz on your eyelid. The second I found out that there's a soft layer of super thin hair like above the crease, it freaked me out because I was like, oh my God, that must be it. All right, so let's take care of that. So what you always want to do is brush the hairs up using a spoolie, and we're gonna get rid of that peach fuzz. So we're gonna take the little razor, take the lid off, and without touching the shape of the brow, you want to kind of get rid of all the peach fuzz here. Once this is gone, your eyelid and crease and like brow bone will be so smooth that every single shadow that you put on top looks smooth and not patchy. So I just placed the little razor flat to my skin, and using short strokes, I am just gonna get rid of the peach fuzz. This also scrubs the eyelid a little bit, which makes it even, oh my God, and the sound, oh my God, you should hear this. Oh my God, here we go. So I do that little section there, and then this here is Peach Fuzz City. So I place the razor like this, like right above the main shape of my brow, and I use short strokes, stroking up and that will get rid of that peach fuzz right there. Whew, so once that is nice and clean, you have the most smooth, soft area to apply your eyeshadow to, and this made a major difference in my makeup game. Now what I would do is apply primer, foundation, concealer, and powder because I do my brows after foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead, go off camera for a little bit, and I'll come back looking like a pancake, but I'll be there to show you how to have a brow formation. We'll be going from this to this. I love everything about this. I feel like it's looking full, it's looking like hairs, especially from a distance. It looks a little bit better, but that's with everything in life. The first step I always do is grab a spoolie and brush my brow hairs upwards. This to showcase the straight line underneath. I kind of do my brows in steps. So I do one line on the bottom, then I brush the hairs down, do a line at the top, fill in, and then all the detail work comes in. The eyebrow pencil that I've been loving lately is by Fenty Beauty. This is the Brow MVP, and this is in the color Dark Ash Blonde. One trick, and I think this is a game changer. Once you have used the pencil, the tip kind of gets slanted and rounded. And when I do my brows, I want the tip to be very sharp and precise. I kind of scroll it down until there's like the tiniest point of the pencil left. And then I grab my dirty ass makeup towel, and with that pencil, I'm just gonna rub the tip flat. Now, this will lose a little bit of product for you every now and then, but I've heard that people break off the tip to get a straight edge. But if you just roll it down enough so you can like flatten the top, once you scroll it back up, you have a sharp, straight tip again. Now I just create a line underneath my brow, and I usually start somewhere in the center and then work my way towards the tail and then finish off towards the front. And now with the slightest touch, I just drag that line inwards. Don't make that line too intense because that will make it look wrong. Okay, now that we have the bottom line done, good job, take a breather and move on to the next step, which is brushing down the brow hairs to create a clear line of where you want the top to go. I want fuller looking brow. So like you saw on the bottom, I went below my actual hair, and for the top also, I'm going on top, like above my natural hair to create more depth. If you feel like you've created a shape that you're totally unhappy with, fear not. Concealer carving will come as our last step. So in the final step, we're going in with a base to carve out the brow, and with this you can really perfect and shape. With that same pencil, I'm just gonna fill in the outer third. You can absolutely fill in the rest of the brow using that same Brow MVP by Fenty Beauty, but I like just doing that outer third because I have the precision there to stay inside of the lines. Whereas for the remaining part, I don't mind it like going a little bit faster. So I hop over to a bigger brush, or a bigger pencil, sorry, excuse me. I hop over to a bigger eyebrow pencil. This is by Hourglass. This is called Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil, and I'm using the color Blonde. And with this, I'm just filling in the remainder of the brow. And make sure you don't like fill in all the way to the very front of the brow. Like you always want to leave a little feather, like a little space to breathe, because with our spoolie, we can spoolie around and kind of drag that product towards the front so that remains softer. So to be quite honest with you, before, this would be my end station. I would put a little bit of clear brow gel in the brows and carve out with concealer and call it a day. The difference in the technique now is that I work in layers. So this is like the first layer. We have the shape, we have sort of like the backdrop color, and now it's time to go in with the details. So that is an extra step added that will take more time, but it will make it look more detailed and hairy and full. Right now I like to work on the second layer, which is going in with a detailed brow pencil that also has a flat edge, and draw individual hairs. It's almost like gonna work as a shadow for the real looking hairs. So if you look at my brows, mainly in like this area, it needs more detailing because right now it just looks like a blob of brown. And with this, I also go towards the front of the brow and create a couple of individual hair strokes to give a more hairy feel. Now on to the step that totally changed everything for me. I know this sounds very dramatic, but it truly did. Before, I would now go in with a strong hold brow gel, like a clear brow gel. Abby Roberts introduced me to Pears soap, which is a clear soap, and I have stepped into the realm of soap brows. So you want to wet the soap, then once it's wet, grab a spoolie and sort of scrape the soap onto the spoolie and make it even. Then you have the soap on the spoolie. You're gonna brush the hairs up or into the direction that you want them to sit. And the magic trick, this is the magic trick, once you have the soap in the hairs, you want to take this side of the spoolie and press them down against the skin. So we're spraying. I am rubbing that spoolie in there and creating like a little paste almost. And then we go in and we brush up. And then once you've brushed, press down. It kind of creates these like very detailed miniature hair strokes. You see them? It just makes the hair that I do have more visible. And now for the most fun part to me, and I know we're on like step 27 right now, but trust me, if you want to give this a go, I think you will really, really like this technique. This is one of the final steps. We're going in with the Lime Crime Bushy Brow, which is everything we want right now. And I'm using the color Baby Brown. Baby Brown sort of matches the color of the detailed hairs that I'm seeing right here the most. And the only part where I'm kind of missing the detailed brow look is like right here. So that is pretty much the only area where I'm gonna fake the look of fake little hairs. I know it's a long process, but I'm just here to share with you what I've been doing and the difference it has made for me. And if you want to get glam and take your time with it, I think this is really fun to try out. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning, if you have made any mistakes and you feel like you really need to clean up the shape a bit more, this is our final step to carve out the brow. And I think today I actually did a pretty good job, but I'm still gonna carve out because I love that cleanness, that cutness, that perfection. So as our final step, I'm going in with my P. Louise base, and I use this to cut out my brows. And my go-to holy grail brush for this is by Inglot. This is a 2020. This is a 22T brush, and for me, it has like the best shape and like, do you see how thin that can get? This will cut that brow into perfection. And I feel like because we went in with that razor as our first step, this will apply so smoothly, like it has no hairs to kind of get stuck in. Like this will be so satisfying. And then once you apply the rest of your makeup, you should be left with a beautiful brow formation. If you're a makeup lover like I am and you want to give your brows that glow up, I feel like this is a really fun technique to give a try and to give it a go. So yeah, I am really happy with it. And without any further ado, let's go on to today's dot word of the day. Down below, you can find the shout out to the previous Dutch word of the day. As for today's Dutch word of the day, I'm not sure if I've done this word before, but if I did, let's refreshen that memory a little bit. Today's Dutch word of the day is for eyebrow. Wenkbrauw. Wenkbrauw. So wenkbrauw is one brow, and wenkbrauwen is brows, two brows. As always, if you want to get featured in my next video, all you have to do is leave a comment down below featuring the Dutch word of the day, wenkbrauw. Or if you want to get fancy with it, leave a video response on Instagram under the hashtag Dutch word of the day, and who knows, you might see your face pop up in my next video. That's all for me today, folks. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you loved. Let me know if you give this routine a try. If you did, don't forget to tag me on Instagram or tweet me some photos, because I would love to see your results, and hopefully I will see you guys on the next one.